Good morning, Glue Troopers. Well, I want to start off this morning with an apology to Gary P. Gary, I misread your email or your message. Gary had offered me another truck to add to the diorama, and I was saying, yeah, things get pretty full, but I misread his email because I thought it was a completed model. And I was like, I somehow didn't feel right about using someone else's model. I felt like I should build my own. And then I reread it and I realized he was offering me another kit. And I was thinking, well, I had thought about putting the truck off to the side, with like the hood up and, someone fixing it and everything, a little smoke coming out of the hood. That would make an interesting touch. So, then I contritely sent him a reply like, oh man, I misunderstood your email. I'm sorry. A kit would be wonderful. And it brought up two issues. One, I'm starting to get a fair amount of reply. I try to read the replies, but it's getting to the point where I can't keep up. A video that's more than a few days old, there's a fair chance I won't see the reply, at least unless some point I go back and start looking at them again. There's just not enough time sometimes, which is nice. It means the channel's successful, but it also brought up another point, and that was, besides slow down and read what you read more carefully, because misunderstanding what somebody's saying could cause some miscommunication, which can lead to a little embarrassment. But it brought up another question, which I had not even really thought about before. And it's funny, Gary, that this times exactly on something I saw last night. I reread your comment this morning, so I just replied to it before I videoed this. And I don't know if you'll see this or the reply first, but it's about using other people's builds in your build, and here's what I mean. Last night I saw this, Bandai has this, I think it's called Takashi Nation. They make these super high-end pre-made plastic and die-cast models. I'd found they make a 1:144 scale Saturn V, and it's unbelievably detailed, way more detailed and accurate than the Airfix, not the Airfix, than the Monogram Revell kit. It's got the correct number of Ullage motors. It's got the correct number of Ullage motors on it and everything. And it's perfectly painted and detailed. And I was like, including when you take the stages apart, it not only has the engines, but they got the plumbing and everything else. It's just about museum quality. And I was like, wow, this thing's pre-made. Now, I wonder how much that thing cost, and they're $1,500. I was like, oh, okay, well, Max will not be getting one of those. But I was thinking, besides, as much as I would love to have one on display if I didn't build it, and I mean, I have some die-cast stuff on display in the house. I'm not above getting something die-cast or something pre-made if it's nice. I mean, a nice thing is a nice thing. But I was thinking, am I cheating if I put it up there on the same shelf that I have models that I built? I'm thinking, well, I suppose not if I explain to people that I didn't build that, I bought it. But I just kind of went headlong in this little, kit modelly snob thing about if I didn't build it, should I have it on the shelf, sort of thing. And little internal, what they call that, cognitive dissonance. And then when Gary offered me that truck that I thought that someone else had built, and I was like, well, if I put a model someone else built on my diorama, I'm cheating. And that got me to wondering, well, are you? Is there a wrongness in having, using a model that someone else built? And you know, putting it on your shelf. And I was thinking, well, it kind of depends on how you look at it. And in my mind, it kind of broke down. And it's funny that, like I say, there's this unbelievable symmetry in the kit model world. It's like when I said I needed, when I needed something, it just so happened somebody had already sent me one. It's just, it's weird, you know. But so if I put a model on the shelf that somebody else built, and as you can tell, even though the sun's out, it's raining. And down here in the South, we say the devil's beating his wife. If I put a model on the shelf that I didn't build, that has like a sentimental value, like my dad built it or my brother built it, okay, well, there's that. You know, you just don't tell people you built it. If anybody should ask, oh, my brother built that, I keep it for, you know, because my brother built it. But well, it's like those models I have hanging up on the wall inside the Tarbus. Those are models someone else built. I needed one airplane for a video I was making. This wasn't about model building. This was about video making. So the rest of them just hung on the wall because I wasn't going to throw away perfectly good airplane. Or that German biplane that I just put the decals on. I didn't build it. I didn't paint it. I just fixed it and put the decals on it. And right now it's just up on the shelf because I have no place else to put it. But it's not something that I want to display as one of my models because I didn't build it. I don't even know the person who did. And I figured I'll keep it in case somebody, you know, like I say, if the neighborhood kids, hey, Max, do you have a model you can give the kids to play with? Yeah, here's one of these, you know, go tear it up, kid, have at it. I suppose if somebody sends you one that's already built, that's a fairly basic kit, if you were to maybe repaint it completely, you know, because, you know, something like a 148 scale World War II airplane, it's a real straightforward build. The real trick is in the painting. The kit goes together pretty easily. So, you know, do you understand what I'm asking? I mean, when is a kit your kit? When is it something you should display as yours, and when is it not? And but Gary, I want to apologize again. I misunderstood the email, and I actually felt a little bad about that because I was like, man, you know, somebody's trying to help me out, and here I am being, you know, a little snobbish about it. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, he's not offering me something he made. He's offering me another kit. And I already thought about, well, you know, if I put that off to the side with the hood up and people work on it, that would add a little, actually it would add quite a bit to it. So I'll leave it up to you, Gary. I just want to apologize for misreading your email and getting the wrong idea. And then I felt a little bad about, you know, am I being a model snob? But then should I, there is no protocol that I'm aware of. So what do you guys think about, I guess that'll be the question of the day, displaying a model somebody else built? Is this, you understand what, am I making any sense at all? But I think as long as you don't take credit for someone else's work, I don't see any big, I mean, of course, there's no rules. You do what you want to do. But model builders are kind of inherently self-critical, which is why we strive to make, but let's face it, we're at some level, we're artists and we're trying to make a better product, a better item. And you always hear guys, hey, I messed this thing. You look at this beautiful model. Mark H has been doing all of these World War I airplanes, and for my money, he's doing a great job on them. But he's always sending me pictures going, oh, I messed this up, I messed that up. I'm like, dude, that thing looks great. And I think we're naturally self-critical, which drives us to be better. And I just don't think, you know, anybody out there is going to stick somebody else's model on the shelf and take credit for it. That's just not in our nature. But it's funny that should happen at the very same time I was having this little internal battle. I mean, I'm not going to spend $1,500 on that beautiful Apollo 13 or Apollo 11 because I just, you know, that's just not going to happen. But that brings up the other thing though, is detailing these Apollos is always a trick. You know, well, the video that was up was so good. The view the guy gave you of it, it showed so much detail. I was thinking what that video would really be good for, if you bought an Apollo Saturn V, I should say, and you want to make a later version, one of the actual moon mission versions, you could use his video, and I'll see if I can attach a link down here. You could use his video to detail your rocket. It would be really good for that, because he gives a real good look and turns it around where you can see where everything's at. And like, oh, that's where that decal goes, or oh, that's where that marking should be, or oh, those are the ullage motors I need to grind off to get it from 8 to 4 for a later version, and things like that. And I don't know why I want to say ullage. I know it's ullage, but anyway. That's it for today. You guys have a good day. Model on.